Module 2. How to deal with the problem of water contaminated by nitrates. One of the main problems caused by the intensification of yields in both agricultural and livestock production is the contamination of groundwater and surface water. Rivers, lakes, estuaries, and other inland and surface waters by nitrates from fertilizers and other nutrients, moving away from a sustainable system. When does this fertilizer contamination start to occur? Sometimes we exceed the amount of fertilizers to be used in the field and the crops are not able to absorb all the nutrients. It also occurs when fertilizers are removed by water or wind before they can be absorbed. That's why excess nitrogen and phosphates can infiltrate groundwater. There are several alternatives to address these problems. One is to implement costly purification systems with the intention of reducing biodiversity losses in ecosystems. Another is to implement circular economy approaches to preserve natural capital, optimize resources, and reduce emissions. Currently, in some areas of Europe, pollution caused by pesticides and fertilizers used in agriculture is, in itself, one of the main causes of poor water quality. At European level, the Commission publishes reports showing that although there are slight improvements in the data reported in some countries, nitrate pollution remains one of the greatest pressures and much remains to be done to reverse this situation. In May 2020, the European Commission published its farm-to-table strategy, which proposes a transition to a sustainable food system. The strategy recognizes that excess nutrients in the environment is a major source of air, soil and water pollution, which has a negative impact on biodiversity and climate. The document proposes that the European Commission Act reduces nutrient losses by at least 50% without altering soil fertility, and reduces fertilizers use by at least 20% by 2030. These targets are part of the strong commitment to a healthier and more sustainable EU food system within the so-called Green Deal. An overall target of reducing nutrient losses of 50% is a first step, but it should be remembered that groundwater pollution is a local or regional phenomenon. The full implementation of the Nitrates Directive must ensure that standards are respected in all regions of Europe. Excessive levels of nitrate in groundwater used to produce drinking water result in hundreds of millions of euros in additional treatment costs for drinking water suppliers. If a vulnerable zone is declared, the directive generally aims at manure fertilization of less than 170 kilos of nitrogen per hectare, with member states being able to set different quantities in a justified manner. Over the past 3 decades, dozens of nitrate vulnerable zones have been designated across the EU. Farmers need support in this complex phase of transition. The Farm-to-Fork strategy points out that the Common Agricultural Policy, CAP, is the tool for this. This designation requires considering the Code of Good Agricultural Practice, which aims to make the necessary information available to the sector to carry out a rational agricultural activity.
The LIFE Libernitrate project has received funding from the LIFE program of the European Union.